Muhammad Umar Farooq Biological Video. Please make sure to subscribe, like and share. Ask the question for answer and comment about the artwork. You can also comment to each other for answer question to each other for solving the problem. So here we will discuss about the liver anatomy and their internal structure. And next video we will discuss about another aspects. So here is the liver is surrounded by the rib cage, and the liver is made up of two lobes. So the largest gland as a glandular organ is a liver, which contain 1.2 kg weight. So that's a liver is the central metabolic path, containing different central metabolic path which they are used for detoxification and secretion, and other synthesis of protein, deamination, and many more. So here is a liver which that is situated here, and that's contain gallbladder that is a byproduct of red blood cell and cholesterol etc., which that is open into the small intestine. And here is the right hepatic artery and left hepatic artery is here, which that's come from the descending aorta and the inferior vena cava, which that is also surrounded by the upper part of the vein. So hepatic vein and hepatic artery is situated like that. So the bile, green color shows that the bile which that's produced as a byproduct is made up of bile acid and some breakdown of red blood cell, and this color is due to the bile pigment, which that is the basically bile acids and cholesterol and some fatty acid, which that is go into the small intestine as a excretion. So here is the duodenum, and here is the pancreas, which there is beside the duodenum, and here is the spleen, as well as here is the right vein and left hepatic artery. So left hepatic artery and right hepatic vein are present. So here is the look like this structure is the front view, and that's contain a ligament which that separate the small left lobe and large right lobe. So here is the ligament, and gallbladder is, so gallbladder is looking like that, a green color. So here is the posterior view of the liver, which that is show the more character as compared to the front of the liver. So here is the inferior vena cava, which that is going into the hepatic vein, and this hepatic vein is going into the here. On the other hand, the portal vein are present, which has come from the digestive system, and mesenteric vein, which there's go for first into the liver, then go into the after the circulation. There's a nutrient will be absorbed and first go into the liver, so then go into the blood for circulation as a deoxygenated blood into oxygenated blood. So here is the hepatic artery, which contain oxygenated blood. So here I will discuss about the basically lobule, which that's contain a hepatocyte. How its hepatocyte will be explained by this. So here is the lobule, which contain a hepatic vein and hepatic artery, which that is surrounded into the lobule, and that lobule contain a many hepatocytes. This hepatocyte is the very amazing arrangement, that is arrangement of the hepatocyte uh, is the rounded shape, and that is the portal vein is surrounded, whole portal vein is one lobule. So here is the structure is look like that. And on the other hand, that is the basically bile canaliculi are present, and that is the bile duct is also present, with that is surrounded the whole liver to extract the bile pigment as well. So here you can say that is the here is the one lobule, which that is the cross section, and here is the central intralobular vein. So it is the intralobular, that is why, because it is in the center, so that it also is known as central intralobular vein. So here is the bile canaliculi, which that is extract the bile acid, and that's the extract of the red blood cell breakdown and some cholesterol or many more which things which that is related to the bile byproduct. So here is the sinusoids. So this is called is known as sinusoids, where the vein, that's portal vein, which that's come from the mesenteric mesenteric vein, which that come from the digestive system and pancreas, small intestine, large intestine, which that's come, and here is the portal vein, which that is surrounded by the central intralobular vein, and that's all is covered by the cells. So here we will discuss about the portal vein, and that you can understand most easily. So here is the heart, which contain a left atrium and right atrium. Here is the pulmonary vein, is shown in the red color because it's carry the oxygenated blood, and pulmonary vein, which they are showing in the blue color, is the carry the deoxygenated blood. And here is the artery, and that is the aorta. In here is the pulmonary vein and the right atrium and right ventricle, and here is the left ventricle, and that is the descending aorta is here, which that go into the descending side below, and inferior vena cava, which that is also go. So here is the descending aorta, which that is going into the mesenteric artery. So the mesenteric artery means, what is the mesenteric? Mesenteric artery is going to the stomach, small intestine, large intestine, spleen, and pancreas, the duodenum, which that is giving that oxygenated blood and carry the deoxygenated blood from the mesenteric vein, which that go into the portal vein. This portal vein, which that is first go into the liver. So this here is the inferior vena cava, which that is surrounded by, here is the attached the liver, and first go into the liver, and then will go into the hepatic vein, which that is ultimately go into that is inferior vena cava, which that is a large vein of the deoxygenated blood, which that go into the left atrium to left ventricle, and then go into the pulmonary artery. So here is the vein, which that is the basically going into the inferior vena cava, and that's ultimately go into the left atrium, and that circulation will be done. So next, here we will discuss about the whole detail of the lobule, which that is the further cross section is here, and that is the portal vein, which that is showing in the beside of the central vein, and the branch of the hepatic artery, branch of the hepatic artery showing that, and there's a bile duct is also present. This all thing is collapsed together, but here I am drawing the separately for understanding. So here is the layer of the cell is known as hepatocyte, and there between the sinusoid the space of disc is present between the hepatocyte and sinusoid. So the what is the sinusoid? Sinusoid is the canal where the all material will be go into the central vein. So that is known as sinusoidal blood, because sinusoidal blood contain a bile acid and deoxygenated blood and oxygenated blood. So there's a mixture of the blood is here, which that is useful and unuseful material. So here I am drawing the sinusoid, which that is beside the sinusoid is hepatocyte. So here is the drawing of the hepatocyte, which contain a bile canaliculus. This bile canaliculus is enter into the cells of hepatocytes, cluster of cells, and looking like this. And here is the endothelial cells, and here is a space of this, that is space between the endothelial cell and hepatocyte. And here is the tight junction, which that is tightly bind the other hepatocyte. And here is the bile duct is present is far as a canaliculus. So here is the front view, which that showing the into the hepatocyte, there's a extra cholesterol and phospholipids, as well as bile acid, which that is are present into the sinusoidal blood, each contain, and that's go into the inside by the active transport, 3 sodium inside and 2 potassium outside by the using of ATP to enter the bile acid. And these bile acid will be bind by the ligandin, and this ligandin bind to produce a bile acid ligandin that is go into the bile canaliculus, and this go ultimately into the into the basically into from canaliculi to go into the bile duct, and that bile duct will be extract that go into the gallbladder, and after the gallbladder it's either into either store or excrete from the bile duct into the digestive system. So the all thing is due to extract these things. So these things will be extracted by the gallbladder. Ultimately, is the central part is the gallbladder. So you can here is watch that structure to understand as well. Here is the correct structure. Here is hepatocytes, and that's cholangiocytes are present in the bile duct, which they are cholangiocytes, and these go into the bile pigment, and that's go into the gallbladder. And here is the portal vein is looking like here, and here is the hepatic artery and stellate cell. So contain is here is a stellate cell, and hepatic artery and hepatic vein, portal vein is collapsed together, there's a mix together, and there's mixture going into the central vein, and this mixture blood is mixed. And here is the Kupffer cell is also present. The Kupffer cell is the basically here the zone 1, zone 2 and zone 3 is present, and that is done. And the Kupffer cell is the basically precursor of macrophage. There's a Kupffer cell is used for the immunity. So here is the proliferation of hepatocyte during the virus infection, and that's activate immune cell via cytokines. So we will discuss in the first of all the structure of Kupffer cells, and that's endothelial cell. Where is the situation of the endothelial cell? So here is the Kupffer cell, which that recognize the viral disease or virus antigen to produce a chemokines, and these chemokine will attract the uh, uh, monocyte and natural killer cells, T lymphocytes. A Kupffer cell is the precursor of macrophages, infect the which infect the and by other parts. So here is the activate immune cells via cytokines. So the cytokine is activate and the natural killer cell and dendritic cell which they recognize the antigen to produce antibody by the helping of T lymphocyte CD4 and CD8 lymphocyte. So here is the Kupffer cell which that's convert into the macrophage and that's ultimately engulf the virus at HIV or HCV, HPV, hepatitis virus, and this and after the engulfing to produce more interleukin chemokine, which that's chemokine attract the more uh, natural killer cells and other immune cell to produce antibodies. So these all thing is related to the immune system. So Kupffer cell is used as a immunity. So that's all thing is done. Next video we will discuss about the function of the liver. I hope you make sense about this video and this liver structure. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe the channel and give the suggestion.